Early mid-60s, New Bedford, you're in the lower 60s. And if you're making a trip to the Cape today, you're starting off Hyannis around 64. Radar's quiet this morning and expected to stay that way through the day. Partly sunny skies again. Winds will be picking up and turning to the southwest, about 10 to 15 miles per hour in the afternoon, but the gusts could be as high as 30 miles per hour. We'll talk about that, my full future cast coming up, and a warm and humid stretch starting tomorrow. Let's go out to the roadways right now and get an update on the pinpoint traffic.
All right, Michelle, let's take a look now at 95 near the 195 split in Providence. You can see traffic on the southbound side of the highway moving just fine right now. No issues whatsoever. Northbound side as well. Looking pretty good. And our first look at the traffic map this morning, 195, 95, 295, Route 6. A lot of green on that map, so at 6 a.m. no issues as far as the commute is concerned. Another update in 10 minutes. Just 2 days left before the start of the new fiscal year.
And so time literally is running out for Rhode Island lawmakers to pass the state budget. It is on the agenda today at the State House.
Eyewitness News reporter Julianne Pixoto live on Smith Hill this morning with a preview and what the governor's saying about this spending plan.
Good morning. Well, the budget passed in the House 1 week ago, and today state senators are expected to approve the spending plan, sending it over to the governor to sign into law. The budget would then take effect on Saturday, July 1st. The governor says overall she's happy with the $9.2 billion spending plan. However, she's concerned about a few pieces of pending legislation, including a proposal to create a highway surveillance system to spot uninsured out-of-state drivers and a bill to make hypertension an automatic reason for firefighters to receive a disability pension. The governor has also been tasked with finding $25 million in unspecified savings over the next year in order to make the numbers work.
We were able to pass a budget which has, again, record investments in education, job training, economic development, increase the minimum wage, increases wages for home care workers, increases wages for those who care for the developmentally disabled, and makes us the fourth state in America to provide tuition-free community college for every high school graduate.
And the budget vote is the fifth item on the agenda for the Senate today. We'll be there and we'll bring you any updates on air and online. Live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Julianne Pixoto, Eyewitness News.
Stay with us on air and online for in-depth coverage of the budget vote. We're going to have some new reaction to the controversial sick time bill that's moving forward. Why business owners say they're still against it.
After months of pushing from President Trump, part of a travel ban will take effect today. The Supreme Court ruled Monday that visa applicants from 6 mainly Muslim countries would be required to show a bona fide relationship with a person in the U.S.
So this proposed ban has been met with some legal challenges since it was first introduced. Eyewitness News reporter Brian Yacono live in the newsroom with the very latest.
Good morning. The Trump administration today is expected to outline how the travel ban will be implemented. It goes into effect starting at 8 o'clock tonight. Keep in mind, this is not the full travel ban as proposed by President Trump. On Monday, the Supreme Court reinstated part of the president's executive order, arguing the lower courts went too far, blocking the president's authority. There is now a 90-day block on visa applicants from Libya, Syria, Iran, Somalia, Yemen, and Sudan. Refugees are blocked for 120 days from any country. As we reported, critics have called this a Muslim ban. The White House, however, says this is in the interest of national security. People with existing visas or who can prove they have relatives already here in the United States are allowed to travel. Throughout the campaign, we heard the president referencing extreme vetting, but we are yet to hear any specifics of what that means.
We'll be able to move forward, not focusing on people from one religion or one culture, and do a better job at determining who the person is that wants to come and why they want to come here.
The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear arguments on the travel ban starting this fall. All of this happening the same day that the House is now voting on 2 immigration laws. We'll take a closer look at that coming up at 6:30. In the newsroom, Brian Yacono, Eyewitness News.
A proposal to mandate paid time off for Rhode Island workers who call out sick is moving forward. The Senate voted last night to require companies with 11 or more employees to give their workers up to 4 paid sick days starting next year and up to 5 starting in 2019. Bill supporters originally wanted 7 sick days, but despite a compromise, some in the business community still are not happy with this compromise bill. They want to see companies with 50 or fewer workers exempt. House is working on a similar bill. Deal still has to be worked out in the next few days for paid sick leave to become law this year.
Eyewitness News has found the anti-overdose drug Narcan being used by emergency personnel in Providence at an alarming rate. Just last year, Narcan was used on more than 8% of the Providence Fire Department's emergency calls. That's third overall behind saline and oxygen and just ahead of aspirin.
Narcan's a great drug. It does bring people back almost instantly. It's almost like a miracle drug. Aspirin's been the frontline cardiac medicine forever. For that to happen, it's, again, an eye-opener that we do have a real problem.
Officials tell us the increase in the availability of Narcan means there are probably more overdoses than the fire department or health department know about.
Tracking developing news now from the Vatican this morning. The Pope's chief financial advisor has been charged by police in his native Australia with multiple counts of sexual assault. Cardinal George Pell now taking a leave of absence from the Vatican and is promising to return to Australia to fight the charges. The 76-year-old, who is now the highest-ranking Vatican official ever to be charged in the Catholic Church's long-running sexual abuse scandal. Cardinal Pell addressed the charges at a press conference this morning.
There's been relentless character assassination. I'm innocent of these charges. They are false. The whole idea of sexual abuse is abhorrent to me.
While it is not clear what the allegations stem from, two men, now in their 40s, have said that Pell touched them inappropriately at a swimming pool in the 70s when he was a senior priest in Melbourne.
New this morning, less than 6 months into his first term, President Trump held a fundraiser for his re-election campaign last night. It's held at the Trump Hotel in Washington, just a few blocks from the White House. The president was met by a crowd of protesters. The event cost $35,000 per person, reportedly raised about $10 million. The press was originally invited to cover the president's speech at the fundraiser, but that invitation was later rescinded. For reference, Presidents Obama and Bush did not hold their first fundraisers until more than 2 years into their first terms.
Now we'll look at a story you'll see later tonight, only on Eyewitness News, the ethics of experimentation. Right now, scientists are working on a new technology called IVG, or in vitro gametogenesis. So it's the process of manipulating one kind of a human cell, like skin, into a different kind of cell, like sperm or eggs. The science expands the potential for the creation of human life without using male and female reproductive cells. Before it becomes a reality, a local professor at Brown University is weighing the ethics of that research.
It's mind-boggling. I still feel that way whenever I talk about it. You have to ask yourself, is this something we want to get into as a people?
Tonight, starting on Eyewitness News Live at 5, we'll walk you through the technology and take a closer look at the pros and cons of this breakthrough, plus the doctor's message to lawmakers while this research is still in its infancy.
More coverage you can count on coming up on Eyewitness News this morning.
Smithfield considers a plan to close one of its elementary schools. More on that proposal when we come back.
And later, hundreds of people have been stuck at Logan Airport all week waiting for a flight to Portugal. We'll explain what's happened there.
First, though, here's a look at some winning lottery numbers.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale, and we're celebrating with special savings like an adjustable base, absolutely free with select purchases. Plus, get Hampton and Rhodes queen sets for just $179.99, only during Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale.
At Paul Massey Chevrolet, you get the lowest price guaranteed every day, with Rhode Island's only true one price on our exciting lineup of Chevrolets. Lease the Bolt EV for $239 a month for 39 months and get an incredible 238 miles to the charge.
Just give me one more mile, 'cause I'm riding in style in my Paul Massey ride.
Great selection, top-notch service, and the lowest one price, only at Paul Massey.
I'm a father. Going up to a fatal car crash is something that I never could have imagined doing.
We're outlining intestines, limbs. It is that violent.
Your well-being can definitely be affected by what you see.
When somebody killed somebody else in the State, 2,000 pounds.
I can feel the pain that they're
involved in the crash. She dies, and the world goes on.
In partnership with Big Blue Bug Solutions.
Hyundai is prepping for our best 4th of July ever.
So what's your best deal?
Right now, you can lease a new Tucson for an incredibly low $119 a month.
And here's the best part.
America's best warranty comes on any new Hyundai.
Any new Hyundai.
The 4th of July sales event only happens once a year.
That's how we roll.
So it's go time.
Boom.
I'll take this one.
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. And here's another reason to buy now. Hurry in to your local Hyundai dealer today and lease a Tucson for an incredibly low $119 a month for 24 months. Offer ends July 5th.
It is 6:11 on a Thursday morning, and it's comfortable outside. Not quite as crisp as it was yesterday morning, and you can see those partly sunny conditions from our highway. It's viewed from the hurricane barrier camera. This is Oakland Beach right now, and the sky is going to be dry through the daytime. I have a slight chance of a shower during the overnight hours tonight. One of the stories here over the next couple of days will be the winds. They'll be strengthening. So by 10:30 this morning, we're seeing gusts between 10 and 20 miles per hour out of the southwest. Well, look what happens in the second half of the day. Those winds start to strengthen, and by 3:30 in the afternoon, we're seeing frequent gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour. We'll keep those gusty winds going through tomorrow. Full futurecast ahead in just a few minutes.
In more local coverage, school officials in Smithfield suggesting closing William Windsor Elementary School, which is on Putnam Pike. This is part of a reconfiguration process of the town's 3 existing elementary schools. The parents were notified about 2 weeks ago. Last night, they had a chance to comment on the proposed closing.
Our youngest elementary school is 50 years old, all the way up to 73 years old. So it's time for us to do some renovations to our schools, our spaces, to be able to accommodate the way we teach today in the 21st century.
Elementary Reconfiguration Committee, plans to use last night's feedback to refine those proposals.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau may be making a visit to Rhode Island next month. Governor Raimondo is hosting a 3-day summit of the National Governors Association in just a few weeks. She says Trudeau will be in attendance, but his office has not confirmed that yet. Tesla tech billionaire Elon Musk is also planning to attend. Raimondo is planning to ask the governors to support the global Paris Climate Accord following President Trump's plans to withdraw the U.S. from that pact.
6:13, more local coverage coming up on Eyewitness News this morning.
Travelers trying to get from Boston to Portugal fed up. They have experienced several days of canceled flights. You'll hear from some of those frustrated passengers.
Red Sox looking to make it 3 wins in a row against the Twins. Highlights from Fenway coming up.
You're watching Eyewitness News on WPRI 12. Live look in the Newport Harbor this morning. We've got temperatures in the mid-60s. We'll be right back.
Today's morning message brought to you by Cumberland Farms.
How you doing? I'm Josh. Come down to Cumberland Farms and get a nice cold beverage.